Friends, relatives, strangers, and enemies, welcome to another episode of the Texas Conservative Channel, where I make it my own personal business, as always, to point out the flaws and the failures of the Democrat Party. And for so many reasons, and for years now, I have been unable to call the Democratic Party, as they like to be called, because there's nothing democratic about them. There's too many flaws, there's too many screw-ups, and there's too many failures. And of course, on my channel, I've tried to point out their flaws and failures and analyze their flaws and failures and pass that information out to my fellow MySpacers, my fellow Facebookers, my fellow YouTubers, and my fellow Twitters. There's no question that the damage that's done to America by the Democrat Party is worthy of scrutiny. And my shows here haven't been as frequent because there's so much damage to analyze. Well, it's election season again, and so I'm back at it. And I have always said that there are 5 important fundamentals to the survival of our republic. 5 important fundamentals to the survival of our nation: national security, national missile defense, energy, taxes, and Second Amendment rights. Let me say them again: national security, national missile defense, energy, taxes, and Second Amendment rights. Here lately, the Democrats have forced an asterisk on that list. We have to add health care. So, though it's not as important as an issue as the 5 I just mentioned, health care can be added to the list because of the danger that the Democrats has caused it. Now, and I'm not just offering lip service here. Let's examine why the Democrats are failures at those 5 important fundamentals that are important to America's survival. National security. We're the laughing stock of the world right now. We're pulling out of every region where terrorists plan and plot to hit America. Iranian IEDs and Iranian munitions are responsible for so many deaths, regardless of whether it's in Afghanistan, Iraq, or any other country in the Middle East. Pakistan, the Iranians are funneling money to kill Americans. They have a proxy war going against the United States. And this current administration does not recognize that. So national security. It was a good thing that bin Laden was killed, but we can't stop there. We can't pull out of the region. We've got to have the forces there to do that kind of work in the first place. So what's going to happen? How are we going to be able to kill terrorists once our forces are out of that region? It just gives them more opportunity to plan, plot to kill, and attack Americans. And national missile defense. It's important to America's survival because in this day and age, wars can be fought with missiles that can reach their targets and do massive devastation in 15 to 20 minutes to half an hour. So, in this day and age, the reality is that North Korea and Iran are expanding their missile development. They're intermediate range missiles that can hit targets 1,500, 2,000 miles away from their location in just a matter of minutes. Now, understanding that the Iranians are expanding their missile threat, our government and this administration takes a very strange approach. We do away with missile defense. Why, in a world where enemies are expanding missile development, do we do away with our missile defense? It doesn't make any sense. So on national security, this administration gets an F. On national missile defense, obviously, it gets an F. And on energy, energy is important. And we're not going green our way to prosperity. This nation and a lot of its freedom and the things that occur within our free society as they do depend on large amounts of petroleum and gasoline. There shouldn't be a transition to some other fuel source until that fuel source can meet all those needs in the very same way. And to date, the technology doesn't exist. There's technology out there that in individual cases can be more sufficient, but it's not enough to meet American lifestyle. NASCAR, go-karts, jets, the things we do in excess, the way Americans have fun and live their lives. There's not an alternative source of fuel that's going to meet that need. And of course, I'm proud to point that out here on the Texas Conservative Channel, because it is what it is. I mean, you don't do away with one fuel source when you don't have another one ready yet that's not financially sufficient. It's dumb, but Democrats do it. Democrats do what they do, and this administration certainly engaged in some of that. So this and thus, I have to point it out here on that channel. Again, national security, national missile defense, energy, taxes, Lord God, the Democrat Party are the dumbest. The mess that they come up with is ridiculous. How in the hell, are they going to come up with all these trillions of dollars that they want to spend, the Democrat Party? How are they going to come up with all these trillions of dollars? By just taxing people who make over $250,000 a year. How is the government run by Democrats going to go to people who make millions to try to come up with trillions? The math does not add up. There's no way that Barack Obama could meet his $1 trillion spending goals by just taxing the wealthy that are in America. No. He's going to do just like Clinton did. He's going to come back and he's going to tax everybody else. Everybody else will get taxed. So the Democrats, their economic policies have failed. Barack Obama, this administration's economic package has failed, and they keep saying that Barack Obama keeps saying things are going to get worse before they get better. Now, that line shouldn't sell. How that line is working, he's been saying that for 4 years. So, taxes is ridiculous. It's the 5 red state fundamentals, the 5 wholly American fundamentals he's failing on. And the Second Amendment rights, the policies that Barack Obama believes in. There's a lot of it he hasn't enacted yet because he's trying to be silent about it. He doesn't want all of his gun views revealed. But just the mere fact that everybody knows that he has some dangerous gun views, some Second Amendment right violating views, that it's causing the price of guns and ammo to go up. And it's making it hard on somebody that wants to purchase a gun and have ammo. It's a silent violation of Second Amendment rights. And healthcare, of course, is a debacle. Healthcare is ridiculous. What this administration has done to try and make somebody purchase health insurance. What about those that are not sick? What about those that don't need the health insurance? What about those that pay cash at the docks? Not all of us and not everybody goes down there and just charges it and doesn't ever pay them. A lot of Americans pay cash, so there's no need for the U.S. government and the Barack Obama administration to try to make our citizens purchase a product. It's wrong. And of course, here on the Texas Conservative Channel, it is my duty to point it out. I've often told people, if you sit back and think about it for a minute, which party, the Republican Party or the Democrat Party, best represents America or best fits America and our free ways and means. The Democrats like progressivism. They call it building blocks of society. They get in power, they like to stay in power, they like to keep power, because the longer that they are in power, the more they can build those building blocks, progressive building blocks. I call them socialist building blocks, but Democrats and liberals like to call them progressive building blocks. Now, Democrats have a problem. Sometimes they lose elections, and Republicans get in there, and Republicans tear down those building blocks. Like all these food stamp building blocks that the Democrats have built up, well, Republicans, we're getting in there and we're going to tear them down. That's what's taking place. So, if the Democrats ever do win election again, or gain the presidency, if they lose the presidency and then regain it, or they lose congressional seats and then regain them, they'll have to start over. So this utopia, this redistribution of wealth that the Democrats like to engage in has to start over and over again. They never can complete it. And why is the question? Well, there's a problem for Democrats, and it's a thing called freedom. Well, why did I say that? Because if it weren't for elections, Republicans wouldn't win sometimes. If the Democrats could just get in power and stay in power and, tax everybody and take everybody's guns and not ever have to worry about losing elections, they could build up their progressivism, their socialism, or whatever the hell they want to cloak it in. They could do whatever the hell they want to, but no. Freedom causes a problem because in our society, in American society, we have these things called elections every 2, every 4 years. And so the Democrats lose them sometimes, so it causes more and more problems with their progressivism. So the proof is in the pudding. Freedom in elections is causing the Democrat Party of today problems. It doesn't fit their nature. Their ideology and their ideas of wealth redistribution comes more from communism and socialism. It doesn't fit our free society. And thereby the Republicans benefit. Thereby the Republican Party benefits because the Republicans don't have to be in power all the time. All we get in there, we stick to a certain pro-American mainstream ideals, mainstream principles, and we stick to them. We don't ever let up. We don't pretend. We don't try to fool the masses. The Republicans don't try to make people poor like the Democrats do. The Republicans don't have to stay in power all the time. They can lose elections. And it's no big deal because there's more elections. It's freedom. The Republican Party fits freedom. They're not trying to build up anything for anybody. They know that it takes individualism, hard work, where you build it up yourself. So friends, relatives, strangers, and enemies, the proof is in the pudding. America's built on hard work, and not the free dollar. A dollar earned by somebody, they're more self-respect. They'll take that dollar further, that $100 further, that $500 further. However, if you give it to them in the form of government check, they're going to burn through it like a hot knife through butter, wonder why, and then wonder why they're still in the same damn hole they was, with the hand coming back to the government for more, as more and more and more people are unemployed. And it's going to take the rest of us who are working to fund that bull. And we're getting tired of it. Those of us that are working are getting tired of it. We feel as though this administration is trying to force us out of work too, and force us to the unemployment line. We either got to pay for the unemployment line or we got to go hop in it. It's this Democrat Party. The Democrats claim to be for poor people. That's their main line. That's what they go on. Oh, you've heard the old saying, if you want to live like a Republican, you better vote for a Democrat. They hammer away at that class warfare. They try to make you jealous, friends, relatives, strangers, and enemies. That's what they do. And there's no question about it. And if Democrats are for poor people, why with 2 years in office did the Democrats that were in Congress with Nancy Pelosi, and why after 3.5 years with the Democrat president are there more poor people than what there was before that Democrat took office? No, sir. No, folks. It's friends, relatives, strangers, and enemies. It's because the Democrats thrive on power. They want to take away your freedom and get you hooked into. They want to get you hooked to government programs. And they want to give you, once you get hooked to those government programs, the Democrats want you to go tell your friends about what they can do. About the Democrats' love for people to get something for nothing and go tell their friends how they can get something for nothing. The Democrat Party is out to destroy this economy, and they're out to destroy America. And of course, I have to point that out. That's all. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the Democrat Party pudding. High unemployment, high debt, high taxation, high gasoline prices. Good God. There's change that has occurred. Barack Obama, this administration promised change, and they have delivered. It has changed from hell, people. But all is not lost. You can come here to the Texas Conservative Channel and hear all about these Democrat Party flaws. Hear about the fundamentals that's important to America's survival and how the Democrats are screwing up on them. Hear about how the Democrats are destroying America. Hear about how the Democrats don't fit a society where people are allowed to vote. Freedom is not good for Democrats. They don't like it. It causes them problems. It causes them problems in their hierarchy. And with freedom, of course, the Democrats are unable to achieve their goals. And you can hear about it here on the Texas Conservative Channel. You know, this doesn't have to be the last episode that you listen to. Come on back for some more, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.